May 21st, a little after 6 p.m. and the sun finally came out. The light's a little softer this time of day. I've been trying to mow, or forecast to have 4 to 6 inches over Memorial Day weekend. And you can see there's some of it I cannot mow. I cannot get anything in there. It's so muddy, and I thought, well, it's just going to be worse if we get that much rain, and there'll be even more of it I can't mow. We've had 10.5 inches now this month. And 26 inches for the year, so we could hit 30 inches year to date this Memorial Day weekend. And we're almost 10 inches ahead of last year anyway, and had 16.6 through May, so looks like we'll go over 10 inches ahead for the year compared to last year. I almost got stuck a few times. I came out and finished up and mowed everything I possibly could in case we do get that much rain, because I'm done if it rains that much. I don't know. It'll be a week before I can get into the areas I now can, and I'll probably lose some areas I can't mow. I'm trying to squish through this mud. The ground's so soft. This bird feeder stand here, I was going to say something about that. There used to be a big thick plastic shell on it that you put the bird seed in years ago. And the crows, I watched them systematically tear that apart, getting the seed out. And they finally tore it off, and I had to throw it away. And so I just never did put another one back in there, or get another feeder. You know, squirrels are bad about that with bird feeders, but crows can be too, I found out. Like I said, I saw them work on that. I'd look out and they'd be up there messing with it. They finally got it. Then I keep forgetting to talk about this mulberry tree. I didn't notice till this week. It actually already has berries, and it came up on its own. And I believe it was 2011, so it's 4 years old. And it was in the drought, and it was so, the tenacity of life, I just couldn't clip it and get rid of it. It was just struggled up through 2 years of drought, and so I actually started carrying buckets of water out to it, and it turned into a great tree. It's a big tree. I'd say it's getting, 25 foot tall. Has berries on it. And this is where I saw the Baltimore Orioles, and I got to thinking, well, this is a singles mingle for Orioles because they like berries. And they met, the male and female met here early this week. So it's kind of a singles bar or singles mingles for birds, and in particular Baltimore Orioles. How I Met Your Mother at the Mulberry Tree. This is like the calm before the deluge. Everything's mowed, and the ground's soft though. I noticed even I have to push mow this berm. I was leaving footprints, which I don't remember when that's ever happened. That's the barn swallow up on the, I don't know if you can see it. Barn swallows are sitting up there on the gutter. One had a worm. That's the Baltimore Oriole right there singing, kind of that whistle. There's the American crow. Here's the red-winged blackbirds. I had a yellow-billed cuckoo right in this tree line right here. I was outside mowing or doing something, and I heard him. And they're rather reclusive. but I did hear one, first one of the year. Have yellow-billed cuckoos. There's also a black-billed cuckoo. They're very rare. The only one I know of around here I've ever heard of was netted over at the nearby game refuge in a maps banding program. And I used to go to that some, and that week, that Saturday, they always did on Saturday, I didn't go. And that's one of the birds, that's about the only bird left here that I have not seen, is the black-billed cuckoo. They're hard to come by. But I do have the yellow-billed cuckoos here. They call them rain crows. Also, the theory being that that was the Oriole right there singing. That it's kind of a wild call, but the yellow-billed cuckoos, and they would make their call before rain. Well, it's not that they do that, it's that they're singing in the rainy season, is what it is. So that's how they got the name rain crows, and they're not a crow. They're a beautiful bird. They're real long and slender, very long, long tail feathers. And I mentioned great egrets migrating through. They actually are here during the summer. And I had one on the pond this week. Same with the great blue herons are here year-round. And I've noticed, once I get a regular, I think it's the same one probably, he's making a route. The pond, there's another pond across the pasture, and I'm on a peninsula, a lake peninsula, so I think they kind of make a route, go fishing. But I got it all mowed, and I'm waiting for the deluge. Mowed the front yard, the west yard, the backyard, the dog yard, fence yard. Mowed the driveway. It's about a quarter-mile long. I hadn't mowed it in like 3 weeks, and everywhere I mowed, I almost got stuck several times on the tractor, and then I had to push mow some of it, and then the rest of it I can't even get to with the push mower. As I said, the push mower gets stuck. It just bogs down in the mud. It's soup. It's soupy. But I wanted to, you can see it over there, the mulberry by the house, to the left of the house there. That is a survivor. Came up at the beginning of the drought, 2-year drought. There's Linda coming in with Lily. There's Anastasia's 3-year-old daughter. She's staying with us right now. And the dogs. She's going to let him out. Oh, he's barking at me. That's my dog barking at me. Now he's looking around for his mom. Sparky, it's me. Sparky, it's me. He's not too sure. He pulled back. Sparky. Sparky, it's me. Sparky. Come on. Calm down. Then you can't really see it. Well, maybe you can. It's this bush here. It's a tree. I'm not even sure what it is. I originally planted dogwood there. It didn't fare well. And this came up, and I just let it grow. Well, we'll just see what happens, because obviously if it's growing there, it likes the conditions. There's not a lot of light. It's underneath a huge hackberry and a pecan tree, shades it. So I just thought, well, we'll just see what it is, and obviously it likes it there, just same as that mulberry over there. It came up in a 2-year drought. I've watered this one a couple of times when it's dry, but it's done well by itself. This is kind of a side yard, and then by the house, in the backyard, in the pond. And you got a side patio here. And the front yard. And then over here past this, it's kind of a wet weather creek down here, and then there's a west yard out there. And then a pasture. This is a wet weather drainage, and all the trees right there you see, that's the trees are growing on. I let them grow on both sides. It goes on down to the pond and drains this side. Drains several acres, so that's how the pond stays full. You hear neighbors mowing off in the distance. Everybody's mowing before the next rain. Like I say, we've had a bunch. We're going to get a bunch more. I thought maybe we'd shifted into a dry pattern, but nope. Like I say, as I tried to mow today, almost got stuck several times in places where that's not an issue. And I finished picking up all the debris from the severe thunderstorm. I estimate those winds must have been probably 70 miles an hour. It wasn't the strongest winds here. I had a tornado go over the pond May 24th, 2011, and the drought started right after that, a 2-year drought. And it went over the pond in the backyard here. It was lifting. The tornado wasn't. It knocked out the tops of the tallest tree on each end and flung the tops out into the pond. I guess if I showed in that last video, the east side was a east green wall. This is the west green wall, even though I have more property over there. Call it the west yard. Here, jet. But the light's a little softer in the evening. I used to do photography and always liked a softer light. And then if you'll notice in autumn, about October, the light gets soft in the afternoons. It's a good time to take photos. I even took wedding photos for some people one time. That was kind of stressful. Did a little bit of semi-professional photography. That's the front yard. I'll cover that another day. But this west green wall, as I call it, the bushes are coming up in January '07. We had a catastrophic ice storm, lost power for a week, and it had rained a lot before the ice hit. And I had there's several oaks here, but Blackjack oaks are around here and to the west. I used to live in Creek County, Oklahoma, and had a lot of Blackjack oaks there. The ground was so wet and there was so much ice on them, they didn't break, they just fell down. They just didn't even hear them. I came out and there were 5 big trees laying right here in this yard right here that had tipped over from this brush and tree area. This tipped over is what they did. So it's a lot of those wintergreen bushes have came in first, and then the trees will eventually grow back in or already started. Birds are kind of quieting down, don't hear a lot of them. Heard a crow a minute ago, American crow, and then today I saw the fish crows again fly over northbound into the woods. And I've planted a variety of trees in the front yard I'll go over another time. But I've mowed everything I possibly can and even redug a couple of trenches around at the front of the garage and at the shop to keep the water out of there. Getting ready for the deluge. And we're almost at Memorial Day weekend.